Hey folks, today is Friday, November 28th, 2025. As usual, my name is Jake Baldino, here to talk about all the video game news that has been going on this week. If you celebrated Thanksgiving, hope you had a happy one. If you're celebrating Black Friday, good luck, Godspeed. We got Black Friday videos out if you want to check those out. But let's talk about the news here. Let's get you caught up. The first bit of news involves a big question. Are console prices going to go up again? That's what's been on a lot of people's mind. That's what's been in the conversation. I don't have an answer for you for sure, but I can at least get you caught up on the news with it. So a lot of this comes from the cost of RAM going up recently due to RAM shortages. Also prices and things going on with other hardware, but mainly RAM, all centered around the AI boom causing a surge in RAM usage and a bit of a shortage of supply, especially like leading to other companies kind of panic buying up RAM, leading to it being tougher for the average consumer. Yours truly, I decided to do a new PC build for something like a week ago, and guess who got absolutely boned on the cost of RAM? Not a good time, don't recommend it, but with this comes a report specifically from a quote from Moore's Law is Dead, the YouTuber who's gotten a lot of tech stuff right, and I think he specializes specifically in the technical nitty gritty, not just from like counting CUDA cores or pixels or anything like that, but from the retail and distribution and manufacturing side. We'll link his video in the description down below. I'll also link an explainer from PC Gamer. He essentially sets up the stage of why things are becoming how they are, and also points specifically to Xbox's situation here. With the game post quoting him, according to his sources, Microsoft has apparently warned certain partners that RAM shortages could impact Xbox Series consoles, quote, very, very soon. Microsoft didn't plan ahead at all, apparently. He says, if you still want an Xbox for some reason at their current pricing, those prices could go up soon, or supply could just entirely dry up, because multiple sources of mine have apparently been warned by sales reps at Microsoft that this is going to affect the Xbox Series consoles very, very soon. Sooner rather than later. Both PlayStation and Xbox have increased the price of their consoles, reacting to different market conditions over the last year, with Xbox doing 2 price increases, and now apparently that might come to bite them in the ass because they might need to increase it more or figure out something. Now, my brain immediately went to like, well, how is everybody else dealing with this? Like PlayStation, but Moore's Law is Dead suggests that Sony was part of the companies that went on a buying spree, essentially grabbing up a bunch of RAM when they could. He says, and I quote, they have plenty of GDDR6, at least that's what I'm told. Prices could go up eventually. I could see that happening next year, but there is a reason Sony is cutting PlayStation 5 pricing for Black Friday. Apparently, they can afford to do it, and they're not afraid of the RAM shortage or the pricing of that, at least not right now. But we're just gonna have to wait and see how long this whole AI and OpenAI's deal with the RAM and hardware manufacturers, how this is going to really produce a ripple effect across not just gaming and PC hardware and console hardware, but just everything. Because not to sound like an old man, but everything's computer. Like you have a computer and everything. But also, this isn't the first time PC gaming specifically, we haven't dealt with hardware shortages and prices going up. Remember a few years back, the country that made a lot of hard drives, they experienced flooding, and then hard drive costs just went through the roof. I'm just using that as an example of like, stay strong, we'll get through this. But for the console manufacturers, it's going to make things more interesting in the next couple of months. Next up, another leak, rumor, inside source, suggestion type thing, so take this all with a grain of salt, but there is now the word Destiny 3 floating around. Is Bungie currently starting work on the next Destiny? This comes from leaker Colony Deeks, who apparently has leaked things in the past about Bungie's Destiny and Marathon, so people are paying attention to this. And they claim that Destiny 3 is in extremely early development at Bungie. This rumor turned heads, yes, but it wasn't like exactly blown up by press. I've seen some other journalists and other people say like, I don't know about this one, but extremely early development honestly could mean anything. It could just mean like some concept art, or they're kicking around ideas. We really have no way of knowing. So a new Destiny like rumor has cropped up every so often, but it just comes at an interesting time now with Bungie being in a little bit of an impasse in certain ways with like their direction with Destiny 2 lately, and then of course uncertainty around Marathon, and them being acquired by Sony and like what's next with that, with some rumors suggesting Sony is taking a more active control approach to them. We don't know for sure, but I do think that Destiny 3 makes sense. As much as I would like to see them do something completely new, right? PlayStation did acquire Bungie, presumably because of how much money they were bringing in for Destiny 2. As much as people were pissed off by Destiny, like a roller coaster up and down, Bungie, of course, was one of the few with the live service thing to really churn and burn and put out content and get people playing and get people spending money and stuff like that. So Sony obviously probably wanted a piece of that. So I would assume that Sony would kind of want them to try Destiny again and do a Destiny 3. But I don't know for sure. I'm talking out of my ass. But I do want to know what you guys think in the comments. Do you think a Destiny 3 is likely? Extremely early in development could mean anything. They could be working on this for a long time. This could have just been, a boardroom conversation. We have no way of knowing. But let me know what you think. Does Destiny 3 feel like something to you? Specifically, if you're somebody who plays Destiny 2 or follows Bungie. Let me know what you think. Hey, now before we keep going, let's talk about the sponsor of this video. It's Displate. If you don't know by now, Displate is essentially the best place to make your home office, your living room, your bedroom, your apartment, your dorm, whatever, look way cooler. Ditch any of those old cheap paper posters you have on your wall and replace them with these. Displate offers these real metal posters that look sweet. I have had tons of them for years now. They have over 2 million displays in their catalog, covering all kinds of stuff, unique art, but also tons of cool brands. You got World of Warcraft, you got Elden Ring, Cyberpunk, The Witcher, Call of Duty, you name it. Personally, I like movie posters. I have a lot of these everywhere, but believe it or not, you can also get the option of texture with some posters. That gives some images a nice little extra look and feel, more texture, shinier spots, raised parts. It looks great. They also, They also offer custom ones if you want to get a little creative. Here, I got the gameranx logo, to remind me where I work. Sticker leaf on your wall, and then a magnet, and then boom, the poster goes right up. It takes seconds, and you can make your walls look really cool. So believe it or not, it is Black Friday time, and Displate has its best offer yet. This Black Friday, they got the biggest discounts ever, up to 46% off, so it's time to get some holiday gifts. Just click the link in the description down below, or when you're there, use code gameranx to get this. 37% off 1 to 2 displays, 43% off 3 to 4 displays, and 46% off 5+ displays. Again, click the link in the description down below, and when you're there, use code gameranx to get up to 46% off some sweet displays. They make a great gift. You got an option for everyone, so now is the time. Check it out, and big thanks to Displate for sponsoring this video. Now back to the news. Also, more things just kind of coming out of the woodwork. Control Resonant. You heard it here first. That is the name of the next Control something, maybe, because a trademark was filed by Remedy. And yeah, we don't know necessarily what exactly it is because it's kind of under like the umbrella filing of like entertainment video game production. So this could be one of those other announced projects like their collab they're doing with like film and television for Control, or this could be Control 2's title. I don't know for sure. Some people are saying, well, maybe it's going to be revealed at the Game Awards, which is in like 2 weeks. We don't know for sure, but we have known officially that a Control 2 is coming, so this could be it. I don't know, honestly. Really, I love Remedy games, and I'm excited for Control 2, but I just want to know what they're doing with Max Payne. I want to see the state of those remakes, because Max Payne, huge part of my life, and I'm excited to be talking about Max Payne in the world of video games again. But for now, Control Resonant is something. We just don't know exactly what yet. Next up, check out this rare instance of a video game publisher publicly being accountable for their mistakes. Crazy, right? This comes from Paradox Interactive, who most recently, of course, published Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2, a very weird, strange, flawed game that I honestly enjoyed more than the average reviewer, but it is not anywhere near the level of like, standing in the room of the original game. It was really disappointment in some ways, but in a world of like really good video games releasing all the time, something as kind of murky and mixed as this game releasing, not good enough. And apparently they are at a loss with this one. Like they have lost out with Paradox actually saying, and I quote, "We've had high expectations for a long time since we saw that it was a good, strong game with a strong IP and a genre with a broad appeal. After a month after release, we can sadly see that sales do not match our projections." Here's where the quote really kicks in, and something you don't hear all the time. "The responsibility lies fully with us as the publisher. The game is outside of our core areas. In hindsight, it is clear that this has made it difficult for us to gauge sales. Going forward, we focus our capital to our core segments, and at the same time, we'll evaluate how we best develop World of Darkness's strong brand catalog in the future. So long story short, essentially, they said it's our fault. The game itself was tricky to nail down because it was a little bit, I guess, outside of their comfort zone or what they really specialize in. And yeah, sure. Also then kind of like rounding it out with like, we're going to get back to focusing on like doing what we do best. And I'm glad that they still mentioned World of Darkness as a brand and that they're going to do something with it. I'm glad they're not just like throwing it on ice or like, you know, putting their hands up with the IP license or anything like that. You know, hopefully there's hope for World of Darkness, and specifically in like the vampire region. I really hope we can get more out of this, but for now, that seems to be the fate of Bloodlines 2. Also, I missed this last week. I didn't talk about this on the Friday show. I just completely missed it. It flew under the radar for me. But Hytale is back. Yeah, the game that has been in development for such a long time, kind of a Minecraft adjacent style product that was linked up with Riot. Riot Games canceled it. And now apparently the original creators have gotten the rights back, and they were able to take their work. According to their statement, they have like hired or rehired 30 developers and are actively working on the game again. So Hytale is not dead for all the people that have been waiting for this for so long. That's kind of cool to see. Along with that, now we know that it is reaching early access in January. They have a date and an announcement and everything. Also, they set expectations saying it's going to be unbalanced, it's going to be buggy, it's going to be very early access. But I guess in the state of transparency and just kind of like goodwill for players, like they're showing that they got Hytale back, and they're going to give players at least a little bit of a taste of it. And that's cool. That's a rare video game W. Hopefully they can nail the project down and prove to everybody it was worth working on for so long. But for now, yeah, that's what we got. Now, in terms of video game releases, this week is quiet, but next week is on the horizon. It's like the last big game release week of the year, I guess, if you think about it. We have things like Metroid Prime 4. Early in the week, we're going to have Marvel Cosmic Invasion, Octopath Traveler 0, and that cool sci-fi kind of AA first-person shooter Routine as well. That's great. You still got me out here, like after all the delays. I'm just waiting for Terminator 2D No Fate, but not too much longer now. Hopefully they don't delay it again. But yeah, that's what's going on in terms of game releases. The other story I did want to mention is the concept of shadow dropping games. Bethesda Game Studios studio director Tom Mustaine went on record with a pretty interesting quote. "We had a real successful shadow drop with Hi-Fi Rush through Xbox and Bethesda. Todd Howard, the boss man, he's wanted to shadow drop things for a long time because it's so great to be able to say, here's the thing, get it today. It's very valuable." He also said, and I quote, like citing this, like, "We all have short attention spans now, so it makes sense to do more shadow drops." And I would love to see that, really. The quote is interesting. He just goes into the fact that, like, if you can own the internet for a day, or like the conversation, that can be really big. And I think this tracks with Bethesda's history. Obviously, Hi-Fi Rush, Elder Scrolls Oblivion remake, but also you had things like Fallout 4, which they kept the window from announcement to release pretty small. Announced in the summer, released in the fall. So you could tell they like that energy, that momentum. And yeah, I agree with it. I would love to see that, but I want to know what you guys think. Are shadow drops good? I think shadow drops specifically can be good if they can make enough noise. Plenty of things shadow drop all the time, and nobody gives a shit because it just doesn't make a big of enough splash. But I think when done right, it can be pretty awesome and pretty exciting. But that's just me. Let me know what you guys think. It was an interesting conversation. If you want to read the whole quote, it's linked in the description down below, as well as everything else I talk about. That's the news this week. If you were having like a nice quiet holiday weekend, I hope that continues to be well. Thanks for stopping by and watching me. Just let me know in the comments what you think about all the news we talked about, and also what you're currently playing. There's going to be a pinned comment below this in the comments section. It might be a sponsor comment, but still reply to that thread and let us know what you're currently playing, just for our research purposes, so we can gauge videos to you guys. It can be new games, old games, whatever. But if you like getting caught up on the news with us, I'm here every Friday. I never miss. Clicking the like button helps us. We appreciate it. But that's it, really. Just have a great rest of your weekend. Be safe. I'm Jake Baldino. Pizza's on me. I almost forgot the catchphrase for a second. Jeez, I'm shot. Where's my coffee?